You're listening to Linked AM. Tell your story on Linked Live and get noticed.
Good morning, everyone.
You're listening to Carl Wolfenden on the Business Class Show and is not always affiliated with the guests and the topics discussed. Any financial statements are the opinions of the individual, and you should seek professional advice before making any decisions. Upgrade your listening to Business Class, the show that puts you in the big leather comfy seats. So sit back and enjoy our take on the trending business issues of the week.
Howdy, folks. Here he is, the Texas Brit, the guy with the stiff upper lip, filling his 10-gallon hat and his cowboy boots, Carl Wolfenden.
So thank you for joining me again on Linked AM and Linked Live. It's interesting to hear you say you've seen it work and not work, because I think people start a corporation and they're experts in their own right, etc., and they go and get people that they feel comfortable with as partners and people around the board. But you know, it's important to have structure to the board, isn't it? I mean, tell us more about what the word governance really means, Don.
Yeah, that's a good point. I raise a couple of things there, Carl. First of all, governance, most people understand governance as oversight. It's kind of a checks and balances. And as you well stated, you have friends and trusted people who you use as a check and balance when you're a CEO or a business owner. But a board is really a formal organization to provide that. But interestingly enough, we're seeing things play out, especially in the public arena, where a few years ago, rather than just rubber stamp a strategy that a company would come up with, the investors and the shareholders began to ask boards to actually get involved with strategy, help formulate it, help analyze it. And then recently, we've seen a number of things on the forefront where, think of Uber, the board is being involved in talent management now. Think of United Airlines. The board is being involved in reputation, capital, if you will. So the investors, the community, the whole seaward change is beginning to have boards be more than just a rubber stamp, be more than just advisory. But to the second part of your question, the value of a board really is, first and foremost, a trusted advisor. If the CEO can look at his board, his or her board, and see that as a resource that they can go to those people and bounce a few ideas off of, look at various options, then they have a much better way of moving forward. We find a lot of times that companies are at the limit of their expertise because they're beginning to get into markets. Or they're at the limit of their expertise because they've grown so far and they're comfortable with that size of company, whether that's 5 million, 50 million, 100 million, 1 billion, but they're not comfortable beyond that. We find people who are really looking for diversity of opinion, and boards can bring all that to the table, so to speak. They can bring expertise, trusted advisory, diversity of opinions, and probably more importantly, they can bring independence. As a CEO, I know that so many times you get into a bubble just working into your company, working with your customers even, working with your regulators or your advisors or your investors, but you haven't really looked out beyond that bubble to the market at large. So that's a little bit about what we see as governance, a little bit about what the value.
We're fixing to be right back after these messages.
Is your company at an inflection point? Most companies will, from time to time, find themselves at some point where exciting new opportunities or challenges force the company leadership to accept that there are some fundamental improvements that must be made before they can even move forward. Frequently, even though the company finds itself with a will and determination to make those necessary improvements, Leadership knows they simply don't have the bandwidth internally to tackle these improvements while also keeping the company running and their customers satisfied. This is where the Inflection Point Group can make a real difference. While we offer comprehensive services and subject matter expertise, most clients engage the Inflection Point Group through our 3 key service lines. Growing and scaling, taking your business to the next level. Agreements and negotiations, breaking the barriers to the time and cost constraints of complex agreements. And marketing and digital services, working with you and our strategic partnerships to provide a complete 360 view of your marketing strategy and execution. If you're at that inflection point, we want to talk to you.
Well, welcome back, and that was a great conversation we just had with Don Springer of the Inflection Point Group. As you've heard, we're going to have many more of these. We're going to be talking to team members of the Inflection Point Group who are subject experts in their own right and their own subjects, and also some of their trusted partners. Talking about trusted partners, if you want to get a free white paper to learn more about, and we're calling it the 7 keys to running corporate governance, everything that we just talked about, then just go to our special page that we've set up for the Inflection Point Group. All you need to do is go to partner.businessclassnews.com/infliction. That's NFLXN. And you get more information. It's on the screen now. It's a great little piece of information. And if you want Don to talk to you and chat to you, you can also request a conversation with Don on there. So thanks so much for joining me today on Linked AM and Linked Live. And we've had a really good time. And again, have a great day. And remember, keep conversations going. That's the way to more business.
Visit our website at www.businessclassnews.com.